They come from all across the world, from many different lands. The brave from Britain, the confident from America, the determined from Japan, and anyone else, anywhere else, who wants to step up to the challenge. 100 challengers compete across a 4-stage obstacle course devised by the devil. Success means glory. Failure means humiliation. It truly is win or die. Many have tried. Very few have succeeded. But they all have one goal: to become the next champion. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm Hunt Unit 751 and welcome back to Ninja Warrior of Halo. Today marks the 23rd tournament in this course's history. In the last tournament, another 100 competitors stepped up to the course, and although there was plenty of shocking early failures on stage 1, we did still see plenty of new successes. Newcomer Bookcase and regular Z-Master both got their first tastes of success, reaching stage 2, as did Atlantic Champ and Chris, who got all the way to the 3rd stage. Also, Crown Ferret 19, aka Irish, got his first stage 1 clear in almost 8 years. In the end, 3 competitors made it to the final stage for the 2nd tournament in a row. Double Ump, Alpha Puma, and Smoky Massacre, 3 of the most experienced and most successful competitors of all time in Halo jumping history. But ultimately, even they did not have what it takes to defeat the new challenge of this final stage. Double Ump came the closest, failing the same jump that Rog failed in Tournament 21, coming up 2 jumps short, but that was good enough to see him get his 2nd ever first place finish, and his first since Tournament 8. Sadly though, Ump will not be back today to make another challenge for total victory. But we do still have another 100 competitors ready to step up to the course. This tournament will also mark the end of an era on Halo 5, as not only will this be the final NWOH tournament to take place before the move to Halo Infinite, but it is also likely to be the final official tournament that anyone can compete on Halo 5. But despite the somber mood, there is quite the excitement building amongst our competitors today. From promising newcomers to exciting young stars, the next generation of Halo jumpers are ready to step up and make their mark in this tournament. Let's head down to the sidelines to hear from a few of our competitors about how they're feeling coming into this tournament.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really successful tournament. I'm expecting to see probably double-digit clears again this time, and I expect there to also be a lot of Stage 2 success. I don't expect there to be a lot of people go down there. All these obstacles are fun, especially the one right behind me, which was made by my good friend Atlantic Champ. And I'm just here to have a good time, and everybody else is going to have a good time with me. So.
I'm not feeling as stressed as I was in the last tournament. You know, obviously getting to stage 4, I kind of had to live up to that standard and get to stage 3 at least in the last tournament. But I'm a little bit more stressed, a little bit more relaxed, so hopefully at least I could maybe get back to stage 3, but stage 2 would be nice as well.
Yeah, I mean, stage 1 overall, it's going to be interesting with the, in Tournament 21 when the time went down 20 seconds, it felt like a lot tougher stage just as far as the obstacles were relatively similar. This time around, the 20-second time cut, I feel like the stage is overwhelmingly faster. So I think even though it's like a big speed stage, it's going to be very interesting to see, the pace people go at. And obviously there were record times last tournament. I don't think we'll be seeing any of those. But I think there's a lot of talented jumpers out here now, and I think we're going to see some really good runs. So I'm excited for this tournament.
I think Tournament 23 is going to be a very exciting tournament. I think the results are going to be hopefully better than last time. This half-pipe attack took me out last tournament. Hopefully I can get revenge on it and hopefully return to the 2nd stage.
It's interesting because there's good days and bad days. I feel like a lot of people can complete stage 1, but if a good jumper didn't, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a couple obstacles that, even though you can do them, they're failable as well, so should be interesting. I don't think the time is too tough. I think it's just a question of getting through the obstacles.
You know what's kind of crazy is that this is kind of towards the end of Halo 5, and I feel like despite how long Halo 5 has been out and how long we've been hosting tournaments on here, I feel like the jumpers are at their best now, more than they've ever been, and there's more of them than there ever have been. So I think there's a lot of people who have a chance to do really well in this tournament, and some of us old-timers, we gotta, make sure we hang around at the top two. So I'm excited to see how this tournament goes. I think there's going to be a lot of success. I would hope that, we'll see someone back at the final stage, and if someone can do it, that would be an amazing way to kind of ride off into the Halo 5 sunset.
I think for myself, I am the most unprepared I've been for a tournament. I've lived in the woods for the last 2 months, so I hope my jumping skills have retained, and I'd love to do a repeat. As for the whole tournament, I don't know how individual competitors are going to do, but I think this is the tournament we get a total victory. That is my prediction.
With the competition varying across the board, this could be the most successful tournament we've seen on Halo 5, but it will most definitely be the most unpredictable tournament we've had in a long time. One goal: to achieve total victory. 4 stages stand in the way from achieving that goal. One last battle on Halo 5. One last hurrah before the move to Halo Infinite. Let's head down to Mount Midoriyama to witness the glories and the tragedies starting on Stage 1. The first competitor ready to step up and take on Stage 1 here in Tournament 23. He's taking his time coming over the bridge, but he's not afraid. It's Foamy. We'll kick off the final Halo 5 tournament. Newcomer, but a competitor well known on quite a few courses at this point. He has 110 seconds to defeat 9 obstacles, starting with a brand new one, the 12 Timbers. 12 steps, go back and forth, you can do whatever you like on them, and he's got through it quite nicely. On to the other new obstacle on Stage 1, the curtain slider. Bounce your way across the wall and get to the other side. This is all about timing, and Foamy's got his timing wrong. He drops out, comes up short on the dismount. At least you beat the first obstacle. Now on to contestant number 2, another newcomer. This is Jelly, one of several competitors trained up by Joey Davis for this tournament. Joey we will be seeing a little bit later. I'm trying not to call them the Joey Davis clan, but they kind of are in this tournament. As I say, there's quite a few of them, as Jelly is going for an interesting technique on the 12 Timbers. You can do whatever you like on these 12 Timbers. You can use as few of them or as many of them, and Jelly, she was all over the place. I forgot to mention this is a female run. Jelly gets across the curtain slider, first person to do that, onto the ball drop, unchanged from the last tournament, but with a new rule: you can jump for the dismount whenever you feel like, and Jelly is making good use of that rule. Dismounts early and gets through the ball drop, onto the jumping spider. This jump has been made harder from the last tournament. The column is higher up than it was before, but Jelly gets into it. Well, we don't get many female competitors run the course, especially on Halo 5 actually, but Jelly is doing very well so far. On to the half-pipe attack. This caused a lot of damage in the last tournament. She's shooting it, she's afraid of it. Can she get past it? Just about gets into the head slide. Unchanged from the last tournament, but no trouble for Jelly. This is a fantastic run, considering this is only the second competitor of the tournament. I know, obviously, Phil was number 1 in the last tournament and he got to the slider jump, but this is a newcomer, and Jelly almost gets up the warped wall on the second try. Comes up just short. The time is running out now and she still can't get up the warped wall. Less than 20 seconds now on the clock, and she's fumbling. She hasn't got the legs, she hasn't got the technique. She's not even close now. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds. It's still a fantastic debut run and a fantastic run at this early stage of the tournament, but it ends in defeat on the warped wall. Jelly gets up the wall now. That is just literally how it goes. I can't even say that's pot luck. That's not bad luck. That's just truly how it goes in Halo jumping. You finally get up the wall after 17,000 failed attempts. But sadly, not within the time limit. As we move on to our next competitor, another newcomer, this is Sunnyside Splash. Another competitor well known in the Halo jumping scene. Fun fact, this was the first ever run he did on a Halo jumping course, to my memory, if I'm remembering that correctly. As Sunny is off on the course and his first ever run does not go according to plan, as he fails on like the 5th step, I think that was. First competitor to go out on the 12 timbers. That is unfortunate. But I'm sure Sunny will go on to bigger and better things in other courses, in other tournaments. We have Teeny Tarantula next. 4th newcomer, 4th competitor, 2nd female runner of the tournament. Wow, you finally get a female competitor and then another one shows up. Not like my love life, but I digress. Anyway, Teeny Tarantula going for a crouching technique down the right hand side of the 12 timbers works nicely. We're seeing a lot of different techniques so far. What about the curtain slider? This is all about timing. You got to get that first bounce spot on. She's going for full speed and she overshoots the final part of the curtain slider. It looked like she got the timing right, but it was just a little bit off. That was unfortunate. Now for our first returning competitor, Mumbles Fogarty. 4th appearance, has a bit of an upward trend, I suppose you could say. In 3 previous appearances, he's gone out on the first obstacle, then the second obstacle, and then the third obstacle in the last tournament, which was the ball drop. So, you know, by that logic, maybe could get to the 4th obstacle today. Going for the, well, this is supposed to be the full send technique when you skip 3 steps at once, but Mumbles is doing the technique very slowly, being cautious. Took 25 seconds to get through that. 20-second time cut for this tournament. We're back down to 110 seconds again, as we were in tournament 21. As Mumbles does get the timing right on the curtain slider, and he's back to the ball drop. He's at least matched his personal best. Can he better it? As he takes his time on the ball drop. He tried to full send to the dismount, or to the stopper, sorry, in the last tournament. Didn't quite work. He's not going for that technique this time, even though it is allowed. He's instead going for a very careful, cautious approach, and it looks like it's going to work. Mumbles setting a personal best through the ball drop and on to the jumping spider. Not worrying about the time though. And oh no, Mumbles, what have you done? I have no words to describe that. There's literally no way to describe what's just happened. Mumbles has fallen off the side of stage 1.
Oh god. Oh no. Is that a jumping spider fail?
That's a yikes.
Alright.
It will go down as a personal best, but it might just be the worst jumping spider fail we've ever seen. Well, following on from that tragic failure, we had Jamaican You Crazy step up to the course. Yes, the accent was necessary. He went a little bit too slowly on the curtain slider, came up well short of the dismount. Then we had the Soldier step up to the course. His technique was all over the place on the 12 timbers, and he proved that he needs a few more practice goes at on the assault course back at base. Then we had Araxia, trained by Joey Davis. Didn't train him very well with a technique like that. First ball drop fail of the tournament. And then we had Letrol, who failed the jumping spider the normal way, unlike Mumbles, but did not have the correct technique. Came up well short. As we now move on to our next competitor who started their run, this is Yam Yam Man. Yet another newcomer, as to be expected. A lot of newcomers stepping up in this tournament. Yam Yam almost fell off both ends of the ball then after the first drop, but survives the second drop and makes the dismount onto the jumping spider. Taking his time, steps forward, working out the technique when the jump just about gets in. As I say, whoa! Needs a couple of save jumps there. As I say, that jump off the trampoline to the column, a lot tougher than it was in the last tournament, as he's now going for the half-pipe attack. Good technique, big jump into the head slide, looking good. Another newcomer, Yam Yam is the man onto the warped wall. Can he get up this first try? He almost did. Second try, no, 30 seconds left on the clock. He needs to get up it now to have any chance. He does. All right, 25 seconds. It might not be enough, but he's got to push. The slider jump. This caused so much trouble in the last tournament. As Yam goes low, he's going to go underneath. He's still pushing, but I don't think it's going to be enough. That's not going to help. The klaxon sounds. He's hopping, he's jumping. He misses the man cannon. Oh no. We can see it clearly here. He jumped up. He went backwards. It didn't matter in the end. He was going to run out of time. But then you can see here, he hops up, hops again, and then realizes in midair about the man cannon. And instead, he goes down in history as only the third ever competitor to fail the Tarzan jump. As we now have a little bit of Ring-a-Ring-a-Rosies round and round. Is that Vulcan? It's an interesting pairing. I didn't think I'd see those two doing that intro together, Vulcan and Drew. This is Drew TV, back for his fourth appearance. Like Mumbles, went out on the ball drop in the last tournament. And also, like Mumbles actually, on an upward trajectory. First obstacle fail on his debut, then second obstacle, then third obstacle. I was expecting Drew to go for the big dismount then, but he did stop on that 11th step. But he couldn't have done that much quicker. That was pretty impressive from Drew. Curtain slider gets the dismount. Alright, the scene of his failure last time. He full sended the ball drop. It didn't work. It looks like he's going to go for the full send again, but this time he's going to use the stopper, and that is a personal best. Now, can he outbest the personal best of Mumble? He's already gone the right way, so that's a good start. But can Drew get past the jumping spider? He's failed the first obstacle. He's failed the second obstacle. He's failed the third obstacle. At the minute, he's not going to fail the fourth obstacle. He breaks that little trend. Time for the half pipe. Drew jumps a little early, gets into the head slide, but gets his angles wrong and shoots out the other side. First competitor out on the half pipe attack in this tournament. Next up, we have, I'm not sure if this guy is from Australia, but it's Discount Aussie. What a game attack. He has 110 seconds. As I said, many newcomers, especially in these early stages. Okay, looks like this guy is going to use all the steps, so this will be a good gauger to see how much time this takes doing this technique. Wide variety of techniques you can do on this obstacle. Go down the left side, go down the right side, use all the steps, do the full send strategy. 23 seconds that took him. It's not going to help him with this time limit. 20 seconds less! Oh no! Aussie hits the front of the curtain slider, and he is out very quickly. Next up, we have Spartan Walnut, back for his second appearance on the course. In the last tournament, his newcomer performance was fast-forwarded, but we did see him get into the spider, only to fail on the inside. He's hoping to go better today. Not a newcomer, but as I say, a lot of new faces, a lot of newcomers, a lot of fresh young talent stepping up in this tournament, hoping that they can have a breakout tournament. And Spartan, although he might not be a newcomer, he will be hoping that he can have that breakout performance here today, as he's quickly into the ball drop. Taking his time, going for the crouch technique. Moving very slowly, but efficient. really slowly right now as he goes for the first drop, survives nicely. Slows it down again for the second drop. Almost falls off the front, but saves it. That cost a lot of time, though. A minute on the clock already. This time limit is tight. You cannot be messing around. As Walnut, a bit of lag there, but he does get into the spider and outperforms his debut performance. This is a personal best. Another competitor setting a personal best. In fact, all the returning competitors, I think, so far have set personal bests. As Walnut onto the half-pipe attack. Can he crack this when Drew couldn't? Still a bit of lag, but he gets into the head slide nicely. Walnut. 27 seconds left on the clock. He's got to get up this warped wall in 1, and it's probably still not going to be enough. And he does not get up it in 1. Yet another competitor, the third competitor we've seen now, struggling with the time limit. Looking like he's going to run out of time, but he does get up the warped wall. Can he beat the slider jump before time runs out? Going quickly down the head slide, lands it. Going under as well, but fails and runs out of time literally just before he hit the water. Still a solid improvement though from Walnut on his second appearance. Following on from that, we had Panda Express, who was taking it nice and careful on the 12 timbers, but maybe not looking where he was going was not the play. Swiss Kill was killed also by the 12 timbers. Then we had Hump for God's sake. He wasn't helped by his friend shooting at him, which, you know, that's not very supportive. Then we had two more friends, Enemy Game, who tried to do the full send technique on the 12 timbers. That didn't work, but his buddy, Enemy Fire, did much better getting to the jumping spider. We then had Pacific Champ, who went for a crazy technique on the jumping spider that, shock horror, it didn't work. Which now brings us to our 20th runner of the tournament already. This is Joey Davis, 808. Small gamer tag change from the gamer tag he had on his newcomer appearance in the last tournament, Joey Davis 123. But he's off for his second appearance, and he's already done better than his debut run. A personal best already, putting that first jump fail behind him as he zoomed through the 12 timbers straight into the curtain slider. Joey, he's had over a year to improve, get better, get stronger since that newcomer appearance in the last tournament. And this is, without a shadow of a doubt, a very different Joey Davis stepping up in this tournament. He's showing it at the minute as he goes for the jumping spider, full sending, not stopping, and gets a nice high jump. Now making his way through the inside, going quickly through that as well. Joey has got the pace so far as he goes into the half-pipe attack. Can he get this? Yes, he can. Still got half the time, and he's already hit the warped wall. We've seen a lot of competitors struggle with this so far. Can Joey get up it in 1? Yes, he can. 45 seconds left on the clock. The slider jump. Don't underestimate this obstacle, Joey. Caused so much trouble for our veterans in the last tournament, but Joey will not be defeated by it as he goes over the top, and he has 30 seconds left to finish the job. It looks like Joey is going to be moving on as long as something disastrous doesn't happen here on the rope ladder. Climbing up, he's home and dry, he's got Vulcan waiting at the finish line, he shoots, he has put that newcomer performance well and truly behind him to pick up his first Stage 1 clear on this course. And he is the first man through to Stage 2 in this tournament. A brilliant job by Joey. He was going full pelt throughout pretty much the entire course. Got through the 12 timbers, got past the first obstacle which he couldn't do last time, got a nice high jump here in the spider, got up the warped wall in 1, that was crucial, and then kept his focus to get past the slider jump and finish the job.
Nice. He's done. Let's go, JD.
Nice.
Yeah.
Joey, let's go.
Davis. History has been made. Right there.
Bowie.
Well done.
It was like slowest clear
Alright,
ever.
Hunter, I made history.
I'm not sure what history he's referring to, he didn't really explain that bit, but Joey, what I can tell him is he is moving on to stage 2 for his first time, and he does join a very unique list of competitors, becoming only the 5th person ever to fail the first obstacle on stage 1 and then go on to clear the first stage in his career. And of course, matching the performance that he produced on Halo Ninja Warrior as well, to bounce back from failing the first obstacle to clearing stage 1. But I digress, let's move on. We have Wolf Ninja back for his 5th appearance today. As you saw there, went out on the ball drop in the last tournament as Wolf Ninja goes for the full send technique, and he commits to the dismount as well. That was impressive stuff. Wolf Ninja has never got past the 3rd obstacle before. He failed the first obstacle on his debut and has gone out on the 3rd obstacle in all of his appearances after that, including this ball drop. He's beaten it twice before when it was the 2nd obstacle. He failed it last tournament, but he gets past it today. That's a personal best for Wolf Ninja. At the 5th time of asking, he finally gets past the 3rd obstacle and barely gets inside the jumping spider. That was close, but he is still surviving, and he beats another obstacle. Onto the half-pipe attack, he's going right into it, not wasting any time, and he gets into the head slide. This is fantastic. Where is this performance come from? What Wolf Ninja have we been watching in the last 4 tournaments? Wolf Ninja is alive and kicking as he can't get up the walk wall in 1 though. Can he get up it on the 2nd try? Yes, he can. He's going very quickly, 40 seconds on the clock. That's not a good first attempt at the slider jump, but he gets up into the head slide. The 2nd try, goes down it quickly, lands it! Wolf Ninja! Oh my goodness, he's over the top! He's got 26 seconds left! Wolf Ninja, where has this performance come from? This is incredible! He's zooming, he's flying. Wolf Ninja! He's never gotten past the 3rd obstacle before in stage 1. He's done it today, and he is gonna beat stage 1. 10.1 seconds left on the clock. He needed 2 goes to hit the buzzer, but he got through, and Vulcan's at the finish line again. What the hell is Vulcan doing there? Has he found some secret portal to get himself to the finish line? Why is he here for everyone that's cleared stage 1? This is not going to be a regular occurrence, I promise. But Wolf Ninja, there was a few close calls. He almost came up short there on the jumping spider. The half-pipe attack, he got into the head slide and just saved himself from falling out the other side. Needed 2 goes at the walk to wall, 2 goes to get into the head slide of the slider jump. And actually, once he landed the slider jump, he almost got pushed out on the climb up. But he survived all those close calls to not only set himself a personal best, but to produce a breakout performance we never saw coming. Wolf Ninja moving on to stage 2. And in fact, that's actually 2 competitors in a row now that's beaten stage 1. We're, waiting for our first stage 1 clear, and then we get 2 in a row. We're on a streak. Can we make it 3 in a row with our next competitor? This is Tricky Cyrus, back for his 3rd appearance. He went out on the half-pipe attack in the last tournament. Really unlucky, actually. Got into the head slide, then got bonked out by the stopper at the end. But he is now back, hoping 3rd time will be the charm for him. He's shown on other courses that he does have the ability to clear stage 1. Not just on Smokey and Rog's course as well, the likes of Flames course as well, amongst several others. As he's on to the ball drop. Tricky. What? I still haven't got over that Wolf Ninja performance. Never got past the 3rd obstacle, and then he goes and clears stage 1. That is insane. As Tricky goes for the stopper, like a few others have done so far, and that saves him some time as well. Onto the jumping spider, sets himself up, bounces, jumped a bit early, comes up short. Tricky is out on the jumping spider. He falls back an obstacle, and he will have to wait for that stage 1 clear. Next up we have Katana Cat, newcomer, and another female competitor with a Needler intro. Lots of popping. Will she pop through stage 1 and become only the second female competitor to ever beat stage 1 on this course? Going for the 1-step strategy, using every steps. Doing some quick turns, trying to get through it as quickly as possible. It's safe, it's cautious, but you do what you have to do to beat the obstacle. And she is through. Onto the curtain slider. Can she get past this? Looks like she's got the timing right. Very nicely done. Onto the ball drop. Runs into the ball to get it going. Shoots it! That's not a good technique! And she drops out very quickly on the ball drop. Well, following on from that, we had more competitors step up to the course, including Taxed Hard? I'm not quite sure. He did very well getting to the half-pipe attack, but then didn't put in a very good effort on the obstacle. Then we had... oh, I should not be laughing at that. I'm going straight to hell. Spoilers to all the kids, I guess, who've never watched Bambi before. It came up short on the curtain slider. Let's move swiftly on. Apex champion did not do as well. Failing the 12 timbers. Maybe needs to go back to Apex. Then we had Brohammer, who tried to full send on the curtain slider. That technique does not work. Came up short, missed the last bounce. But Jason Statham also tried to do the full send strat, and carbon copy, it didn't work. Sadly, the Hollywood star not having a good day on the course. Now we have Purple Dino, who did get past the curtain slider and is currently on the ball drop. This is our first veteran of the tournament because on his last appearance in Tournament 21, he was amongst the 16 competitors that cleared Stage 1. So he makes his way through the ball drop onto the jumping spider. Beat this obstacle in both of his first two appearances and gets through it, gets into the spider here today. Not beating the obstacle yet, of course. This inside of the spider can take you out if you're not giving it the respect it deserves. Onto the half-pipe attack. He failed this on his debut in Tournament 19, but gets into the head slide. Heading for the dismount. Starting to run out of time though, less than 40 seconds on the clock. He might need to get up this walked wall in one to have any chance, which he does. Okay, slider jump. 30 seconds to go. His first experience of this obstacle, did not get to try it in the last tournament. This is an interesting technique. He goes slow to get height. It worked very nicely. Going over the top, taking his time a little bit though. 15 seconds, he's got to push if he wants to get his second stage 1 clear. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds, he's climbing to the top. He might have enough time, but he comes up short. He jumped too late on that specific jump on the rope ladder and crashes out and misses out on returning to stage 2 as Tom Cruise steps up to the course, joining his fellow Hollywood star Jason Statham. Let's see if Mr. Cruise can be the top gun on this course. Will he put in an ace performance? I'm trying to think of other movies that Tom Cruise has been in to make silly puns. Oh no! Turns out it was Mission Impossible for Tom Cruise. Crashes out on the 12 timbers. Damn it, I'm annoyed at myself. Oh no. It's this guy. It's the old Nike chief. I'm sorry, I was damning myself because I couldn't think of more Tom Cruise puns, movie puns. I could only think of 2. But anyway, the Chief, you may be familiar with this guy on Irish's course. Stepping up to this course now. And unlike Tom Cruise, gets through the first obstacle. Hey, that guy can claim that he did better than Tom Cruise. Almost undershoots the curtain slider. And is taking a lot of bounces. Not got a lot of momentum. Comes up short. He got the timing right, but didn't have the momentum. A lot of different strategies involved with the curtain slider. As we now move on to Bubba Ace, back for his 5th appearance, the host of Ninja Warrior of Roblox. But well and truly a big part of Halo jumping. Made it to the half-pipe attack in the last tournament. Got to the warped wall actually 2 tournaments ago. So has slightly been improving on his performances over the last 2 tournaments. Taking his time a little bit here on the 12 timbers though. A little bit of a slow start. Bubba, not the most confident competitor in the world, obviously more suited to Roblox than he is to Halo, but still a great supporter of Halo jumping, running this course, running pretty much any course, and it's great to see him here again today, as he steps up to the ball drop. To my memory, don't think he's ever failed this obstacle before, and if that is true, he continues that perfect streak onto the jumping spider. Taking his time, setting up, hits the trampoline and gets into the spider. Still a slow approach, but Bubba is making his way through. Ninja Warrior of Roblox host, of course, naming his show after this course, which is another thing I love about Bubba. As he now steps up to the half-pipe attack, he failed this in the last tournament. He misses the head slide and he fails the half-pipe attack again. It's still a great performance though from Bubba, just sadly not what he was hoping for. But now we can move on from one course host to another, but this one is a host of a Halo jumping course. This is Sonic Fan, back for his third appearance today. Both of his first two appearances, he's gone out on the third obstacle, including the ball drop in the last tournament. But as we've seen earlier from Wolf Ninja, if you can break that trend, buck that trend, and get past the third obstacle today, as he did, you could go on to achieve special things, and Sonic flies through the first obstacle, just like a few others have as well. Full sending that, and full sending the curtain slider. Another competitor looking confident. Will that confidence show on the ball drop? He goes early for the dismount, gets the stopper, and that's a personal best, and celebrates it with a teabag. Going straight into the jumping spider as well. Sonic is flying through the course. Look at that time, actually. He's through the first four obstacles in just over 40 seconds onto the half-pipe attack. Sonic showing the urgency and the confidence of one of the younger new generation of competitors. As he lands onto the walk wall, can he get up this in one? Sliding up it isn't going to work. But he takes his time, does get up it in one, has got tons of time, 45 seconds left on the clock. His head is inside the head slide, that's weird, but he gets onto it. I was going to say don't underestimate the slider jump, but he did not, because he destroyed it, and he's got 33 seconds left for the finish. He's spinning, he's doing 360s, I think he knows he's going to get the job done. And he's going to do it with a spring jump, confirming his success. That is a phenomenal time. 20.9 seconds left on the clock. That is incredible. If that had been the last tournament, he would have just cleared stage 1 with more than 40 seconds left on the clock. That is amazing, and it's a piece of history as he becomes the 200th ever stage 1 clear in this course's entire history. A historic clear befitting of an incredible performance from Sonic. He got his revenge on the ball drop that took him out in the last tournament with a clear strategy that worked perfectly. And just, apart from a close call getting into the head slide of the half pipe, he was pretty much perfect on every other obstacle, getting up the walk wall in one and spring jumping on the final obstacle, on his way to setting the fastest times so far in the tournament. Sonic, what a way to get your first stage 1 clear. Joey's was impressive, Wolf Ninja's was unexpected, but Sonic's has been the pick of the bunch so far as he cruises into stage 2. Following on from Sonic's success, we had more newcomers step up to the course. Bebe had one of the worst techniques you could possibly see on the ball drop, punching the ball and dropping like a stone straight down. Don't be... Oh my god, another bizarre gamer tag. This guy went out on the 12 Timbers. Keanu! Oh, it's a Keanu Reeves. Is that another Hollywood star? He failed the 12 Timbers as well. Hollywood's not having a good day today. He couldn't figure out his technique on the 12 Timbers. Then we had Curious. Is this Sirius Black's long-lost cousin? He did better getting to the half-pipe attack, but missed the head slide and dropped out. And now we can move on to another newcomer and another course host with an interesting intro going on with Petrillo right now. He's raring to go, ready to step up to the course. This is Booker Taco, the host of Tasque.
Seconds left. It looks like Hunter is going to defeat stage 1 unless something tragic happens, which it doesn't look like it will. And Hunter unit is going to defeat stage 1 as he misses the buzzer. He did not hit the buzzer. Chumpy just preemptively fired a rocket. You know, I'm pretty sure if that timer was still going, he timed out. Why is everybody missing the buzzer? Jay, Chumpy, Hunter now? Just melee.
So that was a clip from one of the Halo 5 tournaments on Tasque, hosted by Booker Taco. Fun little course, actually. I only did it the once, but actually I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Booker's style of hosting. I kind of wish I'd competed in more tournaments, to be honest. But now Booker is making his debut on this course and flying through the first 2 obstacles onto the ball drop. Quickly going for the dismount on the stopper and onto the jumping spider, going for a sideways approach. That was interesting. He cut wide and then cut back to the left. He's flying right now. He's going even quicker than Sonic was. Onto the half-pipe attack. He was slightly worried about this obstacle, but he's got the runabout technique. Didn't even need to use the stopper, but does choose to use it just to play it safe. This is a fantastic performance so far from Booker, from the newcomer, and he's got the pace, unlike many of the other newcomers we've seen so far. Gets up the warped wall in 1. Time for the slider jump. Quickly going down this. Lands it, and he's going low as well, the cheeky chappy. Making sure to get this just right. Going underneath, and with 32 seconds left on the clock, Booker looks like he's going to be another competitor moving on to stage 2. Another performance where we've seen a competitor fly through stage 1, and another run that will end with success. Booker, 15.8 seconds left on the clock. He makes sure his debut performance is one that stands out. He's the 4th man moving on and the first newcomer to clear stage 1 in this tournament. Well done to the course host. And now from one newcomer to another, this is Lord of Ooh, a competitor well known on Spartan Sasuke. I think if I'm remembering correctly, wasn't he the first person to ever run Spartan Sasuke? Or one of the first ever to run Spartan Sasuke? Kind of had a long hiatus from Halo jumping and then came back to Spartan Sasuke and has competed on a few courses, now making his debut on this course. And it'd be pretty darn impressive if he could replicate the performance we just saw from Booker. Damn, Booker flew through the course, actually. He's onto the ball drop, is Lord of Ooh. Definitely taking a slightly slower, more careful approach. You can really see it in the competitors, especially in the newcomers. The competitors that have put the practice in, not so much like in terms of the amount of practice they've done, but the techniques that they have mastered on certain obstacles. You can see it with how confident they are going through certain obstacles. Lord of Ooh taking his time a little bit more, but making progress as he gets inside the jumping spider. Still progressing forward, but he has got less than 50 seconds on the clock now, used up more than half his time, and he has only just hit the halfway stage. Onto the half-pipe attack. Newcomers struggle with this obstacle, but we've seen a couple get past this. Can Lord of Ooh do it? My god, that's an interesting technique. Doesn't need the stopper, but I don't think he really realised what he was doing. I think he's probably quite surprised to be attempting the warped wall right now. Does not get up it on the first try. 20 seconds left on the clock. He's not going to join Booker on stage 2. Can he at least get up this warped wall? He shoots. That doesn't work though. 10 seconds. The klaxon sounds. Oh, Booker was so close there if he just crouched a little earlier. It's going to end in defeat at the warped wall. Lord of Ooh, time up. He is beaten by the warped wall. Just did not have what it takes to get up it and drops out into the water. Still a great effort though from a newcomer. That now brings us to our 40th runner with an intro we've seen several times before from him on other courses. Petrillo shooting at the final stage, hoping he can get there. He's got a long way to go first, starting with getting past stage 1 for the first time in his career. And he's hoping today is the day he can do it. Petrillo is stepping up today for his 4th appearance on the course, and so far he has established himself as the nearly man on stage 1. Across his first 3 appearances, he's made it to at least the 7th obstacle each time. On his debut in Tournament 20, he had a few struggles up the warped wall, and although he got up it and maybe still had enough time left, he slipped up on the flying chute. In Tournament 21, he zoomed through the course, but once again the warped wall denied him, and by the time he got up it and then beat the flying chute, he knew he didn't have enough time to complete the course. In the last tournament, he took a slower, more cautious approach, but yet again the warped wall caused him too many problems, and by the time he beat it, he then ran out of time on the slider jump. Now, Petrillo is back, hoping today will be the day he can pull through on stage 1. His performances have warranted it, and actually the successes of a few other competitors in the last few tournaments, the likes of Strafe, Rog, Atlantic, all getting their first stage 1 clears. Petrillo is probably the next man who is due that first stage 1 clear. Today, hoping this will be the day he can do it. 110 seconds to find out as he flies quickly across one side of the 12 timbers, cuts back to the 12th step and makes it through. Quickly going into the curtain slider, we're already seeing this is looking like it's going to be a fast pace from Petrillo. Onto the ball drop. Had no trouble with this previously. Makes it down the first drop, down the second drop, completely in control, and through to the jumping spider. He's still got to keep his focus, even on these early obstacles. Even though he's beaten them all in his previous appearances, doesn't mean they can't catch him out today. But he is making his way through. And now onto the half-pipe attack. He's going quickly into this. Can he get into the head slide? Yes, he can, very comfortably, with half the time still on the clock. Time for the moment of truth, the warped wall. This has plagued all 3 of his previous attempts. He can't get up it in 1. He was close. Oh, no, he's not going for much of a run-up. Petrillo, don't fail this again. 3 failed attempts. Come on, we believe in you. He gets up it on the 4th try with 35 seconds left on the clock. He still has the time, but he has to keep focused for the slider jump. He lands it. He's going to go under. Be careful. He lands it. Petrillo, he's got 20 seconds left. He has the time, as long as he doesn't make a simple mistake. He's going up. This is an interesting technique. He's sticking to the middle on the rope ladder. I don't see... No one's ever done that before, and it works. Petrillo has done it. He's moving on at long last. 4.6 seconds left on the clock. Wasn't a lot of time, but it does not matter in the end. Petrillo finally picks up his first stage 1 clear. At the 4th time of asking, he has finally done it! Petrillo, he made the early obstacles look like a piece of cake. He flew through the first half of stage 1 comfortably with a very fast pace, but then the warped wall, it looked like history was repeating itself for the 4th tournament in a row. Maybe a bit of panic started to creep in, but he stepped back just enough on that 4th attempt and got up it, and then kept his focus to make sure he didn't make any mistakes on the slider jump or the rest of the course.
I haven't seen this technique. I like it.
You're good.
That's clear.
Nice. Let's go, Petrillo. Let's go.
That's
right.
You're next.
Oh my god!
You're next. You're next. How much time did he have?
Very Yamada
4.6.
That's actually pretty decent, because he was that 2 or 3 warp wall failures.
3 warp wall fails.
Well, Strafe was
Yeah.
right. I just didn't want to say anything. I'm like, I think he needs one step back, and when he did it, he flew right up it. So he's golden.
Nice
Oh
run,
my
Petrillo.
God.
Stage dos.
Dude, I don't care what my time was. I'm happy to clear.
Exactly.
And that is what it's all about. You could clear stage 1 with 50 seconds, you could clear stage 1 with 100th of a second, it does not matter. A clear is a clear, and Petrillo finally has his on this course. Petrillo's success means after the first 40 runners on stage 1, incredibly, we already have 5 competitors moving on to stage 2. The new generation of Halo jumpers and the young stars of today are well and truly stepping up in this tournament. Although every obstacle has taken out at least one competitor so far, with the 2 new obstacles doing the most damage, there is no doubt that the success we've seen so far is paving the way for what could be an incredible tournament. So 5 competitors have survived stage 1 and are moving on to stage 2 for their first time. Sonic so far tops the leaderboard with an incredible time on what was the 200th ever stage 1 clear. Also moving on is newcomer Bukatako. Joey Davis put his first jump failure on his debut behind him to move on. Wolf Ninja put in a performance that came out of nowhere, and Petrillo is finally moving on to stage 2. In the next episode, another 40 competitors will step up to the course. Amongst them, more of the new generation of competitors. Several veterans begin their campaigns for success, and one man I never thought would make a return to this course. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of Tournament 23. If you have, like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys back again for the next episode very soon. Until then, I've been Hunt Unit 751. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.